After each of the learners had their laminated blank phonemic charts, which they were going to use like whiteboards, I would present them with a phoneme using the flashcard, and then I would model the phoneme. For example, L, L. And I would ask them to write or draw where they thought that phoneme came on the phonemic chart. After I had checked all of the learners' attempts, I would then write the phoneme in the correct place on the chart on the whiteboard. As you can see, here is L. Then I would model and drill L a few times again, telling them the correct tongue placement, L, L on the alveolar ridge, the correct mouth placement, half open, and lips neutral, L, L, L. And I would drill and model that with the learners a few times. I then held up the R flashcard and asked them to write where they thought that came on the phonemic chart. Most of them actually got it right, which helped me in my explanation of the next part. So we modelled and drilled R, the R phoneme, and I explained again the correct mouth position, lip position and tongue position, and then we compared it to L, and I told them that they couldn't get the two confused if, when forming L, they always made sure the tongue was in the correct position, the mouth was in the correct position, and the lips were in the correct position. Namely, the tip of the tongue shouldn't be touching the alveolar ridge for R, but it should for L, and the back of the tongue should be touching the upper molars for R, R. This is demonstrated by the phonemic chart, with the R sound being to the right of the L sound. I told them that if they followed this mouth map, as we had talked about for all the vowels and some of the consonants, they wouldn't physically be able to formulate those two phonemes wrong again. I then followed this same model for th and t, using the tongue placement as the main idea on that one, and v and b, highlighting the differences between a plosive and a fricative. The learners' reaction to the exercise was generally good. Some members of the class struggled and they couldn't quite understand exactly where I wanted them to position the tongue and some of the more subtle differences between forming the phonemes. But I informed them that that wasn't a problem. It's simply a way to build our muscle memory and for them to get better at forming the phonemes. I also explained to them the reason for using the chart as a mouth map was to try and get them to a point where once they know the correct position of all the speech organs, they will do it instinctively and won't physically be able to formulate the phonemes wrong again. I learned that the idea of using the phonemic chart as a mouth map is sound. The learners really enjoyed the independent element and the ability to work by themselves using the blank whiteboards I gave them, the blank phonemic charts. However, I may have challenged them a little too much, and maybe concentrating on several phonemes in one lesson was a bit difficult. I think I would have been better advised to concentrate on two phonemes, L and R, for example, and go into a little more detail about how to distinguish.